On the comfy couch with me is an individual who is here to talk about wellness. And when I think about animals, animals are a part of my wellness recipe. Please join me in welcoming wellness coordinator for the City of Tacoma, here to give us some tips for that New Year's resolution, Shannon Carmody. Welcome to the comfy couch.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so spell the secret. Tell us about Piper.
Okay, so Piper is 8 years old now, and we adopted her from the Humane Society.
Okay.
And when we adopted her, she was with a foster family because she was 90% blind. But she came potty trained. She's been a wonderful asset to our family. She's the best cuddle bug. But Belgians do require a lot of exercise and training.
This is what I want to say. So now you're getting to the part, she's part Belgian Malinois.
Part Belgian, yeah.
So how would you recommend these dogs, obviously?
I would, especially to somebody who wants to take the effort to train them and be active with them.
There we go. That's all we need. So tell me about your background, Shannon O'Neill Carmody, and your current role at the City of Tacoma, because we have this little wellness series we've been doing. Last week, we taught our family audience how to make smoothies and incorporate small things into their life. So I want to hear about your current role and how you landed there.
Sure. So I am a Washingtonian. I was born and raised in Yakima, Washington.
What?
Actually.
Okay, I went to high school in Sela.
Oh, really? Yeah. And for my education, I earned my Bachelor's of Science in Food Science and Human Nutrition from Central Washington University. And when I was working on my undergraduate, I discovered that I really loved the science side of nutrition.
Ooh.
So I decided to continue my education and got my Master's of Science degree in human nutrition from Washington State University.
Oh my gosh, I can hear our producers in the booth. They're all cougs. They're all yelling right now.
And so I've been in the nutrition education, employee wellness field for a little over 17 years now combined. And
My goodness.
my current role is the wellness coordinator for the City of Tacoma, as
So
you mentioned.
What does that consist of?
So our wellness program was designed and developed by a wellness committee that's comprised of half joint labor and half management.
Oh, interesting.
Yep, and they joined forces because they agree that the health and happiness of our employees is crucial to the success of our organization.
Yeah.
And so by continuing our efforts to improve the well-being of our organization collectively, we can hopefully help to enrich the lives of our employees both personally and professionally.
Yeah. And it's certainly coming out of COVID.
Yeah.
I hope that we all have a redefined definition of wellness and health, given what we've gone through these past 4 years.
Yeah.
So one of the main reasons that you're here is to talk about New Year's resolutions, because this is the time that we see people decide that they're going to tweak their lives a little bit. What are your thoughts on New Year's resolutions? Do you do them?
I do.
Okay.
My big one this year is organization.
Oh, come to my house, please.
No, I mean, I need to work on myself first. But,
Okay.
In general, I think New Year's resolutions can be great motivators when it comes to helping people, continue good practices, make changes to an undesirable trait or
Yes.
habit, or achieve personal goals.
Absolutely.
But they're easier said than done.
Why is that?
Research suggests that New Year's resolutions take about, in general, habits take about 21 days to break a bad habit and 30
Right.
days to adopt a new one.
There we go. So you're kind of balancing out that, I've got 22 days. If I can keep going to that 30 or 31st day, I know it's solidified in me. So what tends to be, we've got some slides we're going to show here. So we got some tips last week on how to incorporate a smoothie into your life in the morning. And one of the tips was to make it easy. What's one of your tips?
Set simple and realistic goals.
Okay.
A lot of people a lot of people are very excited and motivated about their New Year's resolutions, which is great. But if they become unattainable, we're less likely to continue those habits moving forward. And people might even experience a sense of failure if they're not able to accomplish what they have tried to put into place.
You've been watching me at home.
And that's not the way anybody wants to set up their new year.
No.
So simple and realistic is the way to go. My second,
yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, my second tip would be to set measurable goals.
There we go. So like some common resolutions. Since you do this for a living, what do you hear or what do you recommend would be a good, simple, common resolution?
Well, we're actually going to talk about those in a little bit.
Okay, all right, okay. But like these things, managing stress, being more active.
Yep. If we can go back to the other slide, though, I still have some tips about helping them to set measurable goals. So by doing so, you're specifying what the goal looks like in the short and long term. So this will help you experience small wins along the way.
Okay.
Make a plan.
Yep.
Think about the when, where, how, why of your goal.
Why?
Yes, is the most important.
The why is important.
Yep. And by doing that, you can create an action plan and set yourself on the right path to succeed with your new goal resolution. Establish a support group. Talk to your family and friends about what you're trying to accomplish. You may find that they have similar goals that they want to accomplish as well, or at least they want to be there along the journey with you to help you accomplish yours, which can be a great motivator. And then stay positive.
Yes.
It's so important to stay positive because if we think of things in a negative light, so for instance, if you only focus on how tired you're going to feel after you do a workout, or how tired you might feel waking up to do a workout.
That's right.
You're going to be less likely to do it. It's discouraging.
Okay.
Or if you are trying to drink less or smoke less, then perhaps don't focus on the stress that you might feel associated with that. So believe in your goal.
Okay. So
and continue to remind yourself of the benefits and positive impacts it can have on your life.
So we have about 4 more slides to get through in 5 minutes. So as we roll them, I'm just going to have you pick just one to talk about. So, because there's so much good information I want our audience to understand. What are give us one common resolution that you think is important?
I think eating healthier, nutrition is my background, is the biggest thing because the nutrients in the body can help protect you against disease, and also it has an impact on your weight, which is one of the most common resolutions associated with it.
And these 4 are called the 4 pillars of well-being, aren't they? So what would you recommend as being one reasonable solution here to adapt? And you said eating. Would sleep go hand in hand with that?
It does. If we constantly operate on too few hours of sleep, it leads to a bunch of health conditions, including high blood pressure, diabetes, and obesity. So adopting a healthy sleep routine is very, very important. And so I recommend have a consistent wake and sleep time if at all possible.
There we go. We talked about that in the green room.
Yeah, and also establish a bedtime routine so your brain knows that it's time to shut off.
And say it with me. Put your phone away.
Yep. Limit screen time.
Yeah.
For
so
sure.
let's go to, I want to talk about, we talked about eating, which because of time, we want to talk about tracking calories also, which is part of eating healthy. Let's talk about slide number 5. We're focusing around managing stress. Let's talk about that.
Some easy resolutions. We're all a bit stressed, first and foremost.
Thank you. Yeah.
So try reframing your thinking. So think of things in a more positive light. This can help you really adapt because the situation, a lot of times it can be interpreted differently. So think of what feels best for you. I'd also recommend that you establish that support network again, because a problem shared is a problem halved. And so have somebody to talk to, because it's not always the events that are stressful, it's the way that we're perceiving them. And then this aligns with everything else too, is stay positive.
Right.
Because Stress leaves us vulnerable to negative suggestions like failure or powerlessness. So if we stay positive, focus on your strengths, learn from the stress you're under, look at the opportunities, and then make the change.
Yeah, and go slow. It doesn't have, it's a journey, not a race,
Yep.
is it?
No.
Do you recommend that people check with their physician first before making any changes?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Any changes to your physical activity, nutrition, stress, any goals that you're trying to create, check with your physician before doing so.
Yeah, and then the other thing I love that you've said is about a support group. And I think that for me, as a woman who does a lot of things, and my family is no longer little, it's all grown, but boy, let me tell you, having to juggle everything, but also letting people know, you know what, I'm not serving dessert tonight because I'm trying to cut back also on some calories. Let's have a bowl of fruit together.
Yep.
Instead. In this last 50 or so seconds, what takeaways do you want to leave with our audience?
I just want them to know that eating healthier, being more active, managing your stress, you know, in general, getting better quality sleep. Just your New Year's resolutions don't have to be difficult to keep. Just try to stick with your measurable and realistic goals for at least a month, and then you're probably going to find that they become more natural for you.
Absolutely. You can see within a month's time, I always view it as what will stick and what will not stick with me. And I tend to look at the things that are not sticking and I ask myself, why? Did I overpromise? Did I not really think about this? But all of these are great things to think about. Shannon, I want you back in the springtime so we can talk about getting out of the house, okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Thank you so much for being here
Thank you
today.
for having me.
We have much more to come on CityLine. Don't go away. We'll be right back.